Hello everyone, my name is Jason Raffles and today I'm going to talk about the Filipino traits and characteristics. Now there are two types of characteristics, which is the positive traits and the negative traits. Now starting off with the positive traits, we have the faith in God, where we tend to have a strong faith in God, especially in the most dire times. Now religion and families uh, go together. Now, families go to church and pray together because their religion is important and creates a strong bond, marking as the center of their lives. Filipinos celebrates any types of religious celebrations such as fiesta, where they prepare food for their families and will usually celebrate it with their friends and families. Which brings us to close family ties. Now, we as a Filipino, if there's anything that we value more than anything, it is our family. Now, this trait are pretty much noticeable, especially when we go around the park. Especially when I go around the park, I notice there are lots of families that are, talking to each other and sharing some laughs and goofs and making jokes into each other. Now, next, which is welcoming to visitors, which where we are very welcome to our visitors, welcome them with warm kindness and generosity. Now, Filipinos are known for their hospitality, and these traits are somehow unique as a Filipino, where Filipinos would usually go and welcome guests by giving them warm conversations, and these conversations could last ages. They also share compliments, serving them food. We Filipinos love to serve them food whenever someone visits us. This is one of the most popular qualities of Filipinos that even foreigners who have gone to the Philippines find themselves falling in love with the warm hospitality they are shown. Next is obedient and dutiful, which is here. We Filipinos tend to be obedient to our elders, especially to our parents. It is due to the fact that we respect them more than anyone, and they are constantly working hard just to give us a normal life. Now next is respectful. Children respect elders by saying po and opo, as a sign of respect. It usually means yes, where we respect one another, especially those who are older than us, and we greet our elders using manopo. Now, children respect elders by using po and opo, which I said earlier, which means yes when answering their elders. We also use manopo, which is a type of gesture to show elders that they are heavily respected, and it is usually done by children or young adults such as myself by putting their elders' hands on their forehead. Next is helpful. We tend to help one another in times of need. We offer our help to others, especially around the house, with our siblings, our parents, do the household chores. Filipinos are generous people, even when we are little. We always share with those around us. This is pretty much evident during special occasions such as birthday or fiestas. In birthday and fiestas, we share food to our neighbors, friends of friends from other places. They visit our homes with lots of food, specially prepared for everyone. Family, friends, friends of friends, and even strangers can gather, and they can always willing to share foods and help out. Next is diligent and patient. Filipinos, especially those who live in rural areas, result in farming and agriculture. So most of them are farmers, and they result in farming and agriculture. They are known for their patient and diligent, due to the fact that they are breaking their backs just to give us a supply of food, especially these times where global warming is pretty much evident and is slowly heating up the earth, and climate change is a heavy issue. Next is resourceful and creative. Now, Filipinos, especially during catastrophes, floods and earthquakes, never fails to amaze everyone around them by their resourcefulness, by using anything around them and use them as a means of getting through a problem. We Filipinos are quite resourceful in times of need by by using everything around us and use it as a means of solving our problems. Next is cheerful. We Filipinos have been in a lot of trials and histories, especially in the colonial periods. We tend to distract ourselves in our own troubles by doing things we love and things that makes us happy. Filipinos have been through a lot of trials, especially in the history of colonial period, but the people are getting used to that and pretty much they tend to distract themselves by cracking up jokes and doing things that would make us happy just to ignore our problems. Now next is thrifty and frugal. Now this is a trait which is pretty much evident, especially in my family. My family do thrift, they like to save rather than spend, and we don't like to waste anything. Basically, save things that could potentially be useful in the near future. We Filipinos don't like to waste anything that are limited to us. We usually like to keep them and save them for later. Now with all the positive traits done, now let's move on to the negative traits. Now, Kugun. Kugun, this behavior drives time-observant foreigners to get frustrated because Filipinos tend to not observe punctuality at all. It is a dreadful habit and needs to be stopped as it hinders productivity, progress, not to mention, that you are not only wasting your own time but also other people's time as well. We usually like to start things without any sort of planning and tend to lose interest at the very end. Next is the mañana habit. So mañana habit is a Filipino habit of living for tomorrow's what can be done for today. So basically procrastinating. They tend to postpone their actions for a later time, thus reducing accomplishments. Now, we Filipinos tend to procrastinate and do things when it is due instead of doing instead of doing things instead of doing things. Filipinos are fond of saying, bukas na lang, ugma na lang, sa susunod na lang. It is due to laziness. This arises from a slack mentality that a problem will eventually go away by itself. Next is a crab mentality. Now, Filipinos tend to possess this mentality, especially when they feel insecure in a way. Crab mentality also promotes an unhealthy competition. Instead of doing things that could help one to develop and become better in these competitors, Filipinos devote so much in their time gossiping and talking behind their backs because Filipinos tend to be jealous to the people they find that are more successful than them, and they're trying to bring them down instead of giving them a pat in the back or giving them compliments. Now next is a colonial mentality, where Filipinos find the quality of imported goods or foreign goods brands as a good brand instead of buying our local made products. Where we tend to find foreign brands good rather than our local brands, it is due to the fact that we are used to like anything foreign, especially American brands, and it also influences people and make fun of their own culture, like the way we talk, like our accent. So basically, one of the worst traits of all, one of the worst traits of some Filipinos. Now, I absolutely do not have this habit. Do not have this trait. Next is bahala na. So bahala na is one of the Filipino traits of a Filipino where we don't tend to do anything and let some divine being do the rest. This is an expression and one of the negative traits of the Filipinos where we tend to not do anything, instead we let fate decide. Next is lack of discipline. Lack of discipline past laws that are easily broken, like no smoking on jeepneys. People smoke on jeepneys even though it is not allowed. People are crossing the roads even if it's not in the green light, picking up flowers in the park, or peeing in fences even though there's a sign that states that do not urinate here. Trees or truck or tires. They pee on trees or trucks and tires. Now, even wearing prescribed attire, not wearing a uniform in school where they wear semi-formal wear instead of a uniform. When attending a wedding becomes a task difficult to follow. When we're overseas, we find it necessary to follow rules, but we seem to take our country and its simple laws for granted. So those are the types of negative and positive traits of the Filipinos. What are the traits that you noticed in your family and friends? Make sure to comment down below, and that's pretty much it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and goodbye.